Hey everyone, how's it going? What's up? Okay, let me just make sure I got everything set up. I want to make sure I can see your comments. All right, so welcome to my weekly live video. This is the live Q&A session that I do every single Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. Doing it on Instagram, doing it on Facebook, so we're double streaming. And guys, if you are struggling in your business, if you are a coach working in the health and wellness industry and you got questions, you're struggling with your strategy, you're struggling with your mindset, you're struggling to get something working in your business and generate consistent clients, then I am your girl. I'm an online business strategist for health and wellness coaches or any coach kind of working in the health and wellness space or practitioner. And my mission is to help you hit your first five-figure month and then scale so you can get that I messed that up. My mission is to help you hit your first 5K month and then scale and get to 5 figures per month. So we start at 5K as that first milestone. So guys, if you have any questions for me throughout the week, you can send me a direct message on Instagram. On Facebook, you can just send me a private message and I'll make sure to get that question answered on the live Q&A. Or you can just show up. You can just show up and hang out with me on the call and I will make sure to get any of your questions answered. But I did have 4 questions submitted. I'm going to start working through those. But guys, again, if you have questions as we go through this, definitely let me know. And say hey if you're hanging out with me right now. Okay, so the first question is actually a very good question. And a question that I get relatively often. So the question is, how do I go about hiring someone to do my marketing? Is that something I can outsource? So technically, yes, you can outsource it, but it's not something I recommend. I think you personally need to do your own marketing. If you are a personal brand, if you are a coach, you need to be the one out there as the face of your brand. Now, that's not to say you need to do all the posting and the scheduling of your content and all this stuff. There are times to bring it to someone who can help you with marketing, but when we think of marketing in a personal brand situation, basically, people are going to decide if they want to buy from you if they feel like they know, like, and trust you. So that means that only you can be the face, only you can be out there actually connecting with the people who you ultimately want to work with. Because if you're not, people aren't going to buy from you with someone else as the face of your personal brand. So this is really, really important, okay? So when I think about marketing for a personal brand, the best way that you can market is to have visibility. So be out there. So choose a social media platform, learn how to use it properly, and be showing up consistently, right? And then the purpose of being on social media is to drive people onto your email list, which in my opinion is the number one place to sell. I don't actually think social media is a great place to sell. I think social media is a great place for nurturing and building relationships. And you get people onto your email list, you send them through a warm-up sequence, and eventually you offer them a free call or maybe a spot in your group program, okay? So this is the thing about marketing. People think it's this fancy stuff, and you might be shocked to know that I do all my own marketing, okay? Now, I would recommend that you get a mentor, someone who can help you strategize, someone who can help you with your marketing. Yes, that is very, very important, and we need that help. If you've never done this before, then you're not gonna be able to figure it out on your own. So yes, you wanna get help with your marketing, you want to get someone to guide you, but you need to be the one showing up on social media. You need to be the one connecting with your audience. And for me, the number one way that I market is actually in ways that really no one else could do. Okay. I'm way more concerned about quality over quantity. I don't care about volume of followers. I care about the relationships that I form with the people I meet online. So a lot of my marketing actually goes down in direct message on Instagram. I'm always telling people to direct message. This is because I will always answer on direct message. When someone new follows me on Instagram, I send them a direct message. that stuff is really, really important to me because it's, for me, it's about relationships. And for you, it should be about relationships as well. Relationships are incredibly, incredibly important. Okay. Now, email marketing. So this is the thing. You should be the one showing up and doing your own marketing, meaning that you're making your own videos, you are showing up and creating content, but what you can outsource is someone to repurpose that content. So for example, I basically create a few high quality pieces of content in the form of video each and every week, and I have an assistant that goes in and transcribes it, promotes it, and turns it into other pieces of content like static posts on social media, audio clips. We repurpose it to the podcast. I take a lot of my videos and I throw it on the Wealthy Coach podcast. So you can hire someone to help you repurpose, and you should hire someone to help you with your strategy. But ultimately, if you are a personal brand, you are the one out there marketing. And the truth is, hiring someone to market inside your business is really expensive. So this is something you do once you much higher. Like, I can imagine that once I hit 7 figures in my business, that I'll probably bring someone in for marketing. But at this point, I do all my marketing myself because it's incredibly expensive to hire someone to market for you versus hiring someone to repurpose content for you is a lot less expensive. Now, in terms of running paid advertisements, definitely a little trickier. Okay. I think anyone can learn how to set up a basic ad campaign to generate leads to their list through Facebook, through Pinterest, which I'm actually having a lot of good results with Pinterest ads right now. So check that out. But, you know, once you get into more complex marketing funnels, I mean, you probably are going to want to bring on an ads manager, right? But again, you're the one writing the copy and you want to know what they're doing, because ads managers can waste a shitload of your money if you're not keeping tabs on them and making sure that what they're doing is right. Okay. So really, really, really important. Okay. So I hope that helps. Cool. Okay. So the next question that was sent in was, what is the difference between a group program and a course, and what works best in health and wellness? Okay. So they're very similar in a lot of ways. Okay. A lot of courses these days, I feel like, are sort of kind of a hybrid between a group program or a course, and they're a course sort of on steroids. Okay. Now, what I would consider a true course is something with a curriculum that is likely sent out as a DIY thing. So you don't necessarily get support. Maybe you get a Facebook group, but basically you're working through a course curriculum. Maybe you have a Facebook group to access support, but there may not be much else. But a lot of time, but I find that structure doesn't work super well. I'm not a huge fan of DIY courses because most people don't finish them. And I think ultimately people will have questions and they will need support. And if you're in health and wellness, this is incredibly true, right? Because everyone's different. Everyone's uniquely different. Everyone has different things going on in their body, and they're going to respond differently to anything that you recommend to them. So if you don't have some way that they can access support, then they're probably going to end up at a point where something doesn't work well for them. They have no one to talk to, so they just sort of drop off. So I think for health and wellness, courses can work, but I do think you need a support component. And that's when you're kind of diving into the group program sort of realm. And I would consider a group program when you coach people in a group, right? So you support them in a group. And so I think there is this kind of in between a course and a group where health and wellness coaches can kind of fall. But I really do think group programs work best for health and wellness coaches because they add on the support component, right? And really, if you're going to be out there, you know, creating something and selling it, even if it's a group program, I still think you need a curriculum, right? You want something for people to be able to watch, something for them to learn, so that they can progress in their health. So I think even in a group program, you need some level of curriculum. You need some sort of educational component, right? You need to teach them something. But you also want the support component, which I think then brings it into the realm of a group program. So personally, I like group programs better because I don't like to just sell DIY things. I don't think it works as well in health and wellness. I think when you sell an experience, that's always going to do better. When people come into the program, they get the education, but they get the community, they get the coaching calls, they get the energy of being in a group. I think people will enjoy that much more, give you better testimonials, give you better referrals. So I do think group programs work better for health and wellness, but depending on your niche, you may be able to get away with a DIY course. Again, it depends on your niche. Okay. The next question is a niche question. This is a good one. A lot of you guys struggle with your niche. It's really, really important to choose an appropriate niche, but it's definitely something people struggle with. Okay, so my niche is people with autoimmune disease, and I help them learn and live better with their condition so they can have their own selves and life back to normal again. Is this a good niche? Okay, so I think you're off to a good start, but it needs to be more specific. Autoimmune disease is a very broad category, right? And people who have different autoimmune conditions are going to have different pain points. They're going to have different experiences, right? So even though it's the same underlying process for all these different autoimmune diseases, people who aren't health experts or health coaches may not necessarily know this, right? They don't have the same training we do. So they might actually not know necessarily that Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease versus lupus versus celiac versus rheumatoid arthritis, right? They all have different symptoms, and you really got to speak to the pain points. So you need to get more specific with what type of autoimmune disease are you helping, because that's going to help you create content, right? It's going to be less general, because the truth is, if I have Hashimoto's, am I going to go to a coach who's like, I help women reverse their Hashimoto's in their 30s? Or am I going to go to the person who's like, I just help people with their autoimmune conditions, right? The first one, every single time. So you got to be more specific with the pain point, the autoimmune disease, but you also need to be more targeted with the language that you're using, because the truth is, again, it's not specific enough. So you have to think about, like, what's the language these people are actually going to be using. So do people lie awake at night and think, I want to learn and live better with my condition? Man, I can't sleep. I just want to learn and live better with my condition. Think about it. No, they don't, right? They don't lie awake thinking about that. They're thinking like, man, I want to get rid of this Hashimoto's because it's making me gain weight, and I feel so unconfident. I feel so, uncomfortable in my jeans. And, I feel really uncomfortable going out there and trying to date because I just don't feel good about my body, right? You got to think of the words they're actually using, right? And, they don't say, I want to have my own self back. They want to say, I want my life back to normal, right? Maybe to some degree they say, I want my life back to normal, but you really got to get more specific. So a good niche might look like, I help women in their 40s reverse Hashimoto's so they can start having more energy, less brain fog, and feel confident in their skinny jeans, right? You're hitting those pain points, and I know exactly that it's for me if I'm someone who has Hashimoto's, okay? So it's all about really getting into the head of who this ideal client is and using the words that they actually want to be using. Really, really important. Okay. All right, so question coming in, do you have any resources on how to navigate sales calls? I'm terrible at selling. Okay. You're not terrible at selling, you just don't have enough sales practice. I just want to throw that out there. We're never going to be good at things we don't do a lot of, and sales is generally uncomfortable. A lot of us don't necessarily like it, but you'll never like something you're not good at. So I encourage you to keep practicing. You have to get good at sales if you want to have an online business. If you want to have a personal brand, you got to be good at sales. And it's okay if you're not good at sales right now. It takes time. No one just woke up and came out of the womb good at selling. It's just not the way it goes, right? So really, really important to practice. Now, I do have resources on sales. And if you go to my bio, if you go to @KendraPerry Inc. and click on my bio link, I actually have a sales call workshop. It's the 2-hour live workshop where I give you a very high converting sales script. It's the exact sales script that I have used to sell hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of services. And I walk you through the entire script. We talk about how to position the call, how to sell the call, how to get people on the call, how to lead the call, how to make the person on the other line really comfortable, how to be super transparent with what the purpose of the call is. We talk about how to address objections like, I don't have the money, I need to ask my husband. I don't have the time. Let me think about it. We talk about all those different objections. And then we also talk about how to close. So we talk about how to sell without feeling slimy or salesy. Now, this is a paid workshop. I can't remember the price point, but it is gold. It is 100% worth it. If this workshop helps you close just one call, I guarantee it will make the cost of the workshop worth it. I highly recommend it. I actually had a few people purchase today. So check that out. Go to my link in my bio, click on that. You will find it in that little link description, link tree, whatever you call it. Okay, cool. All right, so those are the questions that have come in today and I see submitted. Remember, guys, I'm trying this out. We'll see how it goes. I'm doing it every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. So if you have any questions from now until next week, you can send me a direct message on Instagram or a private message on Facebook, and I will happily answer it during the next Q&A. Remember, these are all saved to my feed. So if you want to watch the replay, they'll always be in my feed. They get saved to IGTV and they will show up in my Instagram profile feed. I am Kendra from kendraperry.net, and I am here to help health and wellness coaches grow their business to 5K months and then eventually to 5-figure months. So make sure to follow me on Instagram if you're not following me already. Like my Facebook page if you're not doing that already. And that's all I got for you. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm actually going to buy a new car right now. First time in my life buying a new car. I feel very weird. It feels very off, but I'm really, really excited. And guys, I will catch you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. for our next live Q&A session. Take care.